A lot of you don't know which qualities to look for in a girl. You ask me all the time, how do I know if a girl is going to be good for me long term or short term? I always tell you guys to take things chill early on. It's still good to pay attention to the little things that can reveal a lot about her character. A lot of you guys love talking about the concept of dating to marry. I know a lot of people say they aren't doing this, but let's be honest. Everyone's dating with some sort of purpose in mind. In this video, I'm going to give you 3 main points that'll help you determine if she's long-term quality or not. Make sure you stick around for the third point, as I believe is the most important. The first point is to pay attention to what she does for you. Remember guys, these days girls are conditioned to only take and not to give. It's not always their fault, it's just the way they were conditioned over the past 2 generations. This is why it's super important to pay attention to what a girl does for you instead of what she expects from you. In general, girls are going to expect a lot of things from you. Some of the passive expectations are that you're a certain height, certain stature, wealth, etc. Some of the direct expectations would be gifts, the way you treat her, or tons of time and attention. Now, I don't have a problem if a girl inherently wants all of these things. What I do have a problem with if she wants all these things but expects to have to do nothing. This is why I'm telling you, you have to pay attention to what she does for you. Does she help you without you asking? Does she do the little things for you that you find tedious but help you a lot? Is she there to support you in ways that you need to be supported, not the way that she thinks you need to be supported? The best women in your life are going to be ones that add efficiency to your life. They're okay to be your helper. They're also happy to do it for you. They don't do things for you and then leverage it against you moments later. When they're happy to help you, you know it's a good sign. Remember guys, words are not enough. Just the words without any of the follow-up through action. Girls are good at talking about a lot of things, but what are they doing? Always make sure you ask yourself this. This leads into the second point, which is to pay attention to what she demands from you. Let's say you're 19 years old and she's 18 and you guys both come from middle income families. If you're in this point of your life and you're just deciding what you're going to do for schooling and she's demanding all of these things from you, examples include constant transportation, regular restaurant trips, constant output of expensive date ideas, travel, constant emotional validation. Let's be realistic guys, all of these things require a lot of money to upkeep consistently. When you're 19, the last thing you should need is a subscription cost. What most of you guys fail to see is that girls become a subscription cost without you even noticing it. It becomes this thing where you get into a routine and you do it so often at one point that now it becomes an expectation that you must continuously provide that. When you're young, you're going to go through periods where you're not always going to have an abundance of money, especially if you're going through school and you don't have time to work a full-time job. If she starts getting cranky with you when you can't provide things you used to be able to provide, this is a really bad sign for the future. Ultimately guys, you need to remember, girls always come with some sort of cost. This is just the nature of how it works. Relationships are never 50-50. At least not from an income perspective. 95% of the time, you guys are going to be expected to provide more than you take. For this reason, pay attention to what she demands. If you begin to notice that she's demanding all of these fancy things when she comes from a regular household, she's probably watching too many TV shows like the Kardashians or on social media too much. These tend to be extremely negative signs. Girls with bottomless thirsts are always going to become a problem for you in the future. That thirst can never be quelled, no matter what you do. Oftentimes, it's better to let these type of women go than to deal with the pain in the future. Remember guys, modern women demand a lot more than women of the past. It's a natural evolution that happens as the dating game never stays constant. It's always evolving. For this reason, I created my Modern Dating Mastery course. I just put it back on sale, so take advantage of this opportunity while you can. To look into it, click on the link in the description. It'll teach you all the basics and more about modern dating. Now let's get into point 3, which is to pay attention to how she lives her life. A really good indicator of a girl's character is her family life. Understand guys, none of us are beyond our human condition. What we see for 15 to 20 years as we're growing up will have an impact on how we see the world. If her father is super weak and her mom is super strong in the household, chances are she will feel the same way about men. It's hard to beat this programming when this is all you know. Remember, it's not an automatic red flag if this is what's going on in her household. Most households today have this exact dynamic. Just remember, it's important to pay attention to, since that's the standard she will have in her head. If she doesn't respect her father because her mom doesn't respect her father, chances are she won't respect you either. You can't blame her if this is all she knows. Another thing you need to pay attention to is how she lives her life. Girls need to be health focused first. Some examples of good habits you should look for in girls are a solid sleeping schedule. If they go to bed at the same time every night, it shows they care a lot about their health. Their recreational drug use. If it's a habit for them to drink every weekend or to use recreational drugs, chances are they don't care about themselves that much. Most people can understand a once in a while thing, but if it's every single weekend for years, it eventually becomes taxing. Remember guys, even 3 drinks a week could be considered as problematic. It's not your job to correct people's problems. The last point I'll bring up for this section is her social media presence. Let's just keep it real guys. If she is half naked in all of her pictures online, she's doing it for attention. I think we're all getting tired of all these lies that girls tell us about why they're posting pictures. If they're half naked in their pictures, it's obviously for attention. What else could it be for? Also pay attention to the subtleties. Is she sticking out her ass in every single picture to make sure that people notice it? I'm not against girls being proud of what they've worked for or have. At the same time, if they're flaunting it every single opportunity they can get, this could demonstrate a problem. Being addicted to external validation is a very common problem that most of you guys overlook. Take what they post publicly extremely seriously. That wraps up this video guys. If you liked what you saw, like and subscribe. The extended version of this video will be on Patreon for those of you that want the best value possible. Feel free to comment if you have video ideas you'd like to see from me. See you next time.